Okay, hello all. In this reel, we are going to draw something in this mathematics lessons, because every time for geometry, we need to draw something other than we just calculate something. So this time, let's look at each question. For question 5, we are going to draw the cross section 橫切面. So that obtained with each of the following solid is cut through the great line. That means if I move just a line and I cut it here, so what is the place you are going to have it? Okay, let me do an example. After you cut it, you will see a pentagon. That means it's a 5-side polygon with something that looks like a square under it. So this is the cross section, okay? So obviously, I know that you know how to draw this cross section immediately. I'll give you 10 seconds. You can guess what is this. Okay, now obviously, I think that you know that this one must be an arrow, okay? This one is an arrow, so you draw like this. So this is the final answer. So Mr. Tim is not drawing too good, but I hope you can draw too good in your examination and test. So this is part B, and you will have the arrow's eye here for question 5. Okay, now after the cross section, we will go to another one. It's called uniform cross section. In Chinese, it's called 均匀橫切面. That means every time you can cut it in the same way. That means, for example, if we cut it here, for this one is obviously no, we do not have uniform cross section. Why? Because every time we move the length, we cut it. Every time we cut it, you have this one. If we cut it here, you will get a triangle. But if we cut it here, we will have another bigger triangle. So I want to think that this one is uniform. Okay, I have these two are called cross section. We have the smallest triangle is a cross section. I have the bigger triangle is also a cross section. But if I want to have uniform, that means we have the same size of it. So this one, every time you cut it, we cannot find the same size of the cross section. So we can only say that we do not have the uniform cross section here. Okay, what about this one? Obviously, this one is yes. Because every time you will see this one, if we cut it here, or if you cut it here, every time we cut it like a trapezium, you will see, every time you will get the same size of trapezium in every cut like this. So obviously this one is uniform, so we will call this uniform cross section. That means every time I want to cut a figure that we have the same size, same area, and the same shape. 我哋要揾一個均勻橫切面，係我哋點切都好，佢會切出嚟係一個同面積、同形狀嘅圖形。Okay, so let's look at question 7. I want to ask you to do this question for me, so I will give you 15 seconds and I will tell you answer after that. Okay, now let's look at the answer. The answer of that one is obviously this one is the square. Because after I cut it, every time you will see a square, so the F in the same way. So this is square. And what about this one? This one, obviously, this is a pentagon. If you cut it another way, you will only have a different size of rectangle. So this is not a uniform cross section. And so the only way is that I only cut it here, and so that we have the pentagon. Okay. Okay, now we will go to the last part of it. We have two questions. We are going to draw this 3D figure on the paper with the 2D size. So that how can we draw it like this? Okay, now we are going to sketch a figure. Okay, let's look at this one. We're going to sketch it means 繪畫 the following figure. So why don't we draw it together? So first of all, we will draw the plane here. We have the length is 1.2. So why don't we 1.2 here? And then the length is here is about 1.8. So we draw 1.8 here. And then we have something like this. We have the right angle triangle. And after that, we draw something 1 cm almost here with the parallel. So how can you make it parallel? We have another ruler in case. We can use the ruler to make here. Okay, so we have this one. We have 1 cm here. Okay, and also we will also have the same formula for this one. We also use the ruler, and then we move it one back. So we got the same 1 cm, and then finally we sketch the figure like this. Okay, now we will sketch the figure. Just draw it once again. Okay, so make sure that you know how to draw it, because in your examination, every time if you write here, you cannot draw it. You must use the rough worksheet and draw it and find some calculation. Otherwise, if you draw it wrong, you will find, oh, I cannot get the answer immediately correct. Okay, now for question 9, we are going to draw this 2D representation on this time of 2D paper. The first one called is the isometric grid. This one is called isometric grid. Because every line here is 1 cm, 1 space, so I will draw it like this. Okay, now let's draw these two figures. So first of all, how can we draw this figure? First of all, from this one to this one, first of all, we must choose one point. For example, I choose this point here. We will act as the lowest part of this paper. 即係話我哋要將佢擺做最底個點。Okay, now for this one, first of all, we choose this one as the lowest point of this and this one. And for this side, we find that it go up to 5. So we go up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I go up 5 points. Okay, this one is represent this straight line. Okay, now what about this 4? So that we can see this point, only one side, we can go up every time, because this one is always the lowest. So I will draw this one as the lowest one, so I will not go down everywhere. So we can go up here and go up here. So for this one, 3, I think that I will go up to the left part of it. And for 4 is to the right, I will go up to the right part of it. So this one is called 4. And this one is 3. Okay, so we have drawn this one. This is 3, and we have 3, and we have 4 to up and 5 to up and 4 to the right. Okay, now let's draw together. Okay, now let's draw this 3. We have 3, 1, 2, 3, and this 3 point is this point, and it go up to 4. So why don't we go up to 4? So we go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We go up 4 of it. And for this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 4 points, and it go up to 5. So why don't we go up to 5? So we have this something like this. And then we link them together. This one is 4. And you will find that, oh, this one, Mr. Tam, is not for the straight line. Yet this is okay, because this one is the trapezium. So that means this one must be higher than 4. So I have drawn something like this. So we have something that which is not straight. And after that, we have the length of this one. Can you guess what is the length of this one? I give you 5 seconds. Okay, the answer of this one is 4, because this is 4, and go up. This is 4. So we draw 1, 2, 3, 4. We draw 4 straight here, and finally we link these two together, and we have finished this one. Okay, now if you really want to draw the dot line, it's also okay. So we draw this dot line here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4. For this one, we have this straight line. And for this 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we draw this one. And finally, this one. Okay, now we have finished the isometric grid. Okay, so this one is called 等距方格. Okay, so makes you know this one. How to draw this one, although it not like a little bit not equal to this one, but it's really the answer for this. Okay, now next one I want to draw the oblique rib. Oblique rib means that this one is called 斜望㗎. So how can we draw this? If I want to draw the oblique rib, we will not choose one point. We will choose one face as the fun part of it, so that make sure that you can know how to draw this. Okay, for example, this time I want to draw this plane as the fun plane, so I will draw this first. Okay, now let's look at this. This is 3, so we will draw it at the bottom of it. So this one is 3. Okay, we have this one, and this is 4. So I draw it through the straight line, and I draw it 4. And then we have 5 here, so we draw 5 here. And so that we draw this link together, and we draw this trapezium as the front plate of this one. And next, what will we do is that we are going to draw this side here. But for this side, we see 4, so do we need to draw 4 one of these 4 spaces for it? The answer is no. You will divide it by 2. So we only draw 2 spaces of it. So we only draw 1, 2. We follow the diagonal one. We have the 2 here. So we will finish the job here. We will draw 2 parts for 4 length of it. And for 5, for upper, we will still draw 5 space of it. So every this square size for this one is 1, 1, and but for this one is 2. So please pay attention. But it's a little bit fat also. Okay, now let me draw the other side. So we have 4, and so we and once again 4, and then finally we draw the last line, and then we will draw the dotted lines also. Okay, now we have also finished this figure. Okay, we can draw it by 2D. So I hope you all can draw this figure with the 3D like it. So make sure that you can use the isometric grip or the oblique grip. Okay, and I hope that Mr. Wong will also teach you in the D&T subjects. Okay, but we will also have this one in your mathematics exam. Okay, so get good and help you to answer it well. Okay, thanks for watching in this video. Bye bye.